you.
Before we talk about the mammoth task of putting together 5 productions, how are you feeling personally being the featured artist of this event?
It's a huge honor. I mean, it comes with a great responsibility, but it is such an honor to be recognized in this way and to be given the platform to show retrospective work and to create new work alongside wonderful artists in this country.
I can't begin to imagine, I mean, you've done so much stuff. In terms of retrospective work, I can't imagine what you include, and then in terms of new work, I don't even know where you begin to create new work. Talk to me about that process, and how have you decided on what you'll be taking with you?
It's been a long process where one has to select alongside the board of the National Arts Festival what it is they're wanting this year. It is the 40th anniversary of Grahamstown. As a festival, it's the 30-year anniversary of the young artists. And in terms of some of my work, it's the 10th anniversary of a play like Black and Blue, for example, which made a huge impact in 2004 and is now coming back as a retrospective work. But so the choice lies in what the program is looking for this year.
Does that make it any easier?
It doesn't make it any easier. It's been a hard road for both the festival board and myself to kind of come to that conclusion. And to answer your question, how does one work in this form of repertory? I suppose it's a new thing for me. I've never begun working on shows in January for Grahamstown, which only happens in July, but that's what I've had to do, and it's been an interesting road. I've got one in the bag. I'm starting the next one on Monday. And then May and June will be full of the next shows.
And then I assume you go back to those productions just to kind of fine-tune them for the opening nights and...
Exactly, yeah. You will be using the whole month of June to go into retrospective analysis of what still needs to be done. But by then, all the work will be done.
Now, you're quoted as saying that now perhaps more than ever, the role of the artist in South Africa has reached a critical point and demands redefining. What do you mean by that?
I think we're faced with a lot of challenges as artists in this country on many levels. I think we've got political, economical circumstances that we've got to really consider. But perhaps it's our challenge now to really say what needs to be said and to not shy away from it. How one does that is our responsibility. I'm not saying overt sort of, marching. I'm saying do it subtly, do it intelligently, and say things that need to be said, and also just bring hope to the artists of this country by showing the kind of work that needs to be shown, in the sense that we have a lot going for us, and we need to make use of the facilities around us and the sponsorship around us, and really look into how things should get done in order to say what we need to say.
I want to get a sense from you, with the Arts Festival being almost celebrating its 40th existence, with the Standard Bank Young Artist Award being around for as long as it has been, with the fact that you are a featured artist. Talk to me about that. Are we seeing the growth? For me, there's almost a dichotomy here, because it's a two-pronged conversation. There's not enough that's being done for artists, and yet these festivals have been around for so long, and Standard Bank has unearthed so many new artists, and yet we're still having the dialogue that there isn't enough scope for artists. I mean, you're a female director who people have seen you through your work grow in this industry. You're the featured artist with 5 productions, and you'll be talking about that there isn't enough space for new artists, for experienced artists.
I think, and it's an interesting question, because what something like the festival does, and so many of the festivals in this country, is that it really puts up a platform for artists. Not many people are aware, though, that if you're an artist breaking through, you've got to get yourself into festivals. You've got to get yourself onto a platform where you can continue to grow. To answer your question, in retrospect, 40 years down the line, the festival has grown exponentially. I mean, it is in a wonderful place. Ismail Mohammed has taken it to the next level, where we're competing and inviting international work to the festival, exchanging work internationally with other festivals around the world. It's got to be a global community. Festivals are there to expose the talent of South African artists and to expose the talent of other artists overseas, and to learn from each other. So I suppose it's a dilemma globally, I don't think only in South Africa, that artists have to continue to find funding for their work. There isn't enough funding for all the artists in this country, where all the disciplines from ballet right through to music and jazz and contemporary dance and visual art, we always have to find that funding. And that is something that I think is an international problem, but it is a reality, and it has always been the artist's reality throughout time.
20 seconds, very quickly, where can we find the productions in the festival? What will be on the fringe? What will be in the main part of the festival?
Right, I'm bringing 3 plays to the main, which would be Cargo Precious, which is a dance piece, On the Harmful Effects of Tobacco, which is a one-man show with Andrew Buckland, and Black and Blue, in which I'm performing, which is a retrospective piece. And then on the fringe you'll find Agreed, which we spoke of earlier this year, and a wonderful new show with a one-man show by Daniel Buckland called The God Complex, which I've directed.
Jam-packed. We're going to leave it there.